Hello friends, myself Advocate Jyoti Charadia. Today we are going to study the Indian Constitution. So before starting with the topic of Indian Constitution, we will first understand the origin of the concept of constitution and from where the concept of written constitution came. If we don't understand this, then we will be not able to understand the real meaning of our Indian Constitution and also the hidden meaning of all the articles enumerated or enlisted in our Constitution. So, let's begin with our today's topic, that is how the world's first Constitution was made. In the year 1215, there was the king in England named King John. He used to impose oppressive taxes on the citizens and harass them unnecessarily. And if the citizens doesn't pay the taxes, he used to imprison them and punish them in very cruel manner. So finally, the troubled citizens and natives fed up with it and surrounded the capital and pressurized the king and made him to sign an agreement, and that agreement is called Magna Carta, and it is also known as the world's first written treaty where the king granted the rights to the citizens. In this way, I believe that the seeds of democracy were sown through this Magna Carta. Now, next is rights originated and granted to the citizens under the Magna Carta. First is law is supreme. That is, not even the king is above the law. So only I said Magna Carta remarked as an end to the kingship and starting of democracy. Next is democracy. As I said, Magna Carta remarked the beginning of such kind of government which is formed by the people, of the people, and for the people. Coming to the next point, that is property rights and exemption from the excessive taxes, as seen earlier that king used to levy heavy taxes and excessive taxes. If it wasn't paid, he used to take away all the properties and imprison them. But this agreement was a curtailing, or we can also say curtail the power of the king, or given the protection to the people against the injustice and protected their property and refrained from paying unnecessary taxes uh, to the king. Next is due process of law. American Constitution inspired from the Magna Carta and borrowed this concept in their constitution. And from there in India we have the concept as per the procedure established by the law. In simple terms, due process means the king or the government if has to implement or levy anything on the people, so they have to follow the proper procedure which is mentioned by the law for it. Next is equality before law. Our Indian Constitution was inspired by the Magna Carta and borrowed this principle, which is mentioned under Article 14. But equality before law means everyone in the country should be treated equally and without any kind of discrimination among them. Now, coming to the last point, but not the least point, that is, no one can be imprisoned for no reason. From this, we can see how the power of the king were curtailed to the larger extent. Due to this principle, now people became fearless and injustices came to an end to larger extent. If now the person will be imprisoned, the justice system will question the king about the same. And from here, the principle of fair trial and also the Audi Ultram pattern and also the habeas corpus were originated. Now, coming to the next slide, which speaks about what all laws originated from the Magna Carta and the further developments. So, from it, first is the Liberty of Subject Act 1354. This act mainly focused and explained the concept of due procedure, which means that without following the proper procedure laid down by the law of the land, nothing can be implemented upon the people by the king or the government or by any other authority. So, in this sense, it won't be wrong to say that it further curtailed the powers of the king from implementing the harsh laws on the people. Now, coming to the second law, that is Petition of Rights 1628, which laid down the four principles. First is without the approval of parliament, taxes cannot be collected. From this principle, we can clearly see the beginning of democratic form of government and an end of kingship, that is without the approval of parliament. Now the king could not even collect the taxes, and now he remained the king for the namesake. Next is the right of habeas corpus, which means to produce the body. In simpler terms, this means that if the king or the government imprisons anyone and doesn't produce before the judiciary, then the court orders the government or the king to produce such imprisoned person before it. Third is no person can be imprisoned for no reason. As said earlier also, if the person is imprisoned by the king or the government without giving any reason or explanation for such imprisonment, then the court will order to produce before him and will also question or ask for an explanation for imprisonment of the such person. This principle also became the basis of the principles of Audi ultra patem fair trial, which has much importance in the criminal laws. Now, last principle, that is during the time of peace, martial laws cannot be levied. The emergency provisions which we see in our Indian constitution are derived from this principle only. We can simply see that if there is no war-like situation in country of any kind, then the laws which are levied during the time of war should not be implemented in the country when everything is normal or there is peace. Now, coming to the next law, that is Habeas Corpus Act 1679. As explained earlier also, which means to produce the body, which is simple language, means that the act gives a protection to the people against the illegal detention or imprisonment by the state. And even if it happens, then the court can order to present such person before the court and will also question the state for doing it or will ask for explanation for such illegal detention or imprisonment. Now, the last law, which was originated from the Magna Carta, was Bill of Rights 1689. This can be stated as the turning point for everything in the world because it not only gave fundamental rights to the people, which set as an inspiration for all kinds of rights which are organized in various countries, but also given the power to parliament to legislate, which in turn established constitutional monarchy over the kingship, which means it ended the kingship, that is, now king is for namesake only, and the democratic form of government was established. Now, moving further towards the next slide, which says the creation of world's first written constitution. As we all know that first written constitution of the world is of US, but the America was discovered by the Columbus in the year 1492, and later on the Britishers started ruling over the US as well and established their colonies in America, and same as of England, levied heavy taxes on the American people, and if not paid by them, then the Britishers used to torture them cruelly. Americans, fed up with this injustice and harassment, finally Americans revolted against the Britishers. And lastly, after struggle movements, Americans declared themselves as an independent on 4th of July 1776. And like this, the Constitutional Convention was signed in Philadelphia on 17th September 1787, which is based or inspired from the principles of Magna Carta. So, in this way, the world's first written constitution was created. As I mentioned earlier also, that American Constitution was inspired by the Magna Carta. But the question comes, what all principles were borrowed from the Magna Carta into the American Constitution? So here is the list what all principles were borrowed from the Magna Carta. First is, no one is above the law, not even the king. That means the constitution is supreme. Second, no one can be imprisoned for no reason based on the principles of odi altrum patum and right to fair trial. Third is Bill of Rights. Fourth is due process of law. Fifth, habeas corpus. Sixth, criminal procedures and rule of law. And seventh, the right to life, liberty, and property, and so on. So, after knowing the history from Magna Carta to the American Constitution, we come to know what is meant by the concept of Constitution as a whole, which in the simplest language can be explained or can be understood as an agreement by the people upon themselves, which is welfare for them only, that is, by the people, of the people, and for the people. So, friends, if you understood the history behind the concept or the origin of the constitution in your own language and in the simplest way possible, then please do like, share, comment, and subscribe our channel. And yes, don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated about our upcoming videos. So thank you friends. Stay healthy, stay safe. Meet you in the next video.